lecturers involved in the delivery of ICT module, and the directors of teaching and learning enhancement from UR colleges have recently concluded the 5-day workshop which took place at UR Busogo Campus. The workshop aimed to review, validate the module of Introduction to Information Technology, and to train at the same time the facilitators on its delivery as a blended learning-based teaching material. This module is among the UR modules which are also offered by universities of the East African region under the Partnership for Enhanced and Blended Learning project. In his keynote while officially opening the workshop, Dr. Andre Muhirwa, who doubles as the lead of the UR Partnership for Enhanced and Blended Learning project and the Director of Teaching and Learning Enhancement at UR College of Education, who coordinated all activities, highlighted the move behind the review of this module and the need felt for the organization of the workshop.
This workshop is coming to review the module developed, and most of you participated in the development, the design and development of that module. The module of Introduction to Information Technology. This module was developed on the understanding that the module is taught to all UR Year 1 students. So although probably you are not teaching the same, but we hope that when it is going to be approved by Senate, so actually the learning materials of this module can help all UR Year 1 students who are undertaking the module of Introduction to Information Technology or ICT skills. So the purpose was to review the module, but when I'm saying to review the module, it doesn't mean that we have to change everything. Yes. We have to see if some specific elements which probably are not relevant, we can change them. Otherwise, the module was developed by you and it was sent to the Association of Commonwealth Universities, who is the lead partner of the project, the Partnership for Enhanced and Blended Learning, to share with other partner universities in the region. So that's why the module is posted on OER Africa, so that those partner universities in East Africa can access to it, can access the module on that platform. So the second purpose of this module, after reviewing it, was to train. Probably you have seen the concept note that was about training facilitators. Yeah, why training? Actually, when I developed the concept note, I invited other facilitators of this module. The total number of invitees was about 31. But after discussing with SPIU, which is going to pay the mission fees and other fees, we realized that it was not possible to invite all the people who are participating in delivering this module. So that's why probably the training is not going to be done, but the training At that time, I was understanding that if people who are facilitating the delivery of this module participate in its review, it is that kind of training. You have also seen that we talked about validation, but that's why we invited colleagues, directors of teaching and learning enhancement in all colleges to be with us. But it is not a formal validation. We are not going to validate it formally because there are organs which are going to validate this module, starting by the department, the school, the college. But as they are here, it was to make sure that they are part of the process. Yeah. If tomorrow the module is approved by Senate and the module is going to be taught to all year one students, either there are two ways. It can be a cross-cutting module developed by the team here, but under the College of Education, as we have other modules which are cross-cutting, like the module of English coming from CAS, like the module of entrepreneurship and innovation developed by CBE. But
citizenship.
Yes.
It's coming from CAS.
Which one?
CAS.
English.
Citizenship.
Okay.
English is coming from.
But even the English, there is the Center of Language, which is under CAS. So it can be considered like that. One module developed, validated, approved by Senate, and offered to all year one students in all colleges. The other way is that the same module, I hope you have started, because in our college also we have started the process of what UR management has called a comprehensive review of all programs at UR. So you can embed the same module in your programs. It is another way. And you can validate it in your own colleges. That's the second way. That's why we talked about validation, but as I said, we are not going to validate it formally because there are organs which are going to be in charge of the validation process. So that's the short message I wanted to share with you.
In the interview we had with Dr.Jean Bosco SHEMA, the Director of Teaching and Learning Enhancement at UR College of Business and Economics, he indicated in a nutshell specific activities carried out by the workshop. He noted that they mainly worked on the storyboard and on the details of the UR-PEBL template for developing blended learning modules and quality assured through the use of UR-PEBL quality assurance rubric.
So these two elements were the working documents which we had to review for this module of ICT. But if I can go into details, in the storyboard, we had to ensure that we plan for the module and how it is going to be delivered, when a unit is going to be delivered, what is the workload, and maybe what is the time for each unit, in what time is it going to be delivered. We had to look at what we call learning outcomes, because we want to ensure that each unit has a learning outcome for the assessment purposes, because if learning outcomes are not clearly defined, assessment becomes as well very difficult. So next, as far as storyboard is concerned, was to precise which activities should be carried out to assess each learning outcome. And next was to just be precise about resources that are needed so that the same learning outcome can be assessed. And then was just to bring clarification on how this specific activity was going to be assessed and where this activity should be assessed. So this is just about the storyboard. When it comes to the PBL, which is a format which provides specific details about the module. One, it's about clarifying at the module level, which are the objectives, which are the description of the module. Two, we had to revisit and see whether learning outcomes at the module level were very clearly stated. And then we had to go to unit levels, which is number 2. Unit levels should as well be specified as far as aims of the unit are concerned, learning outcomes of the unit are concerned, and we had to ensure that we know what is the content of each unit as well. Then from there, we had to define in a clear way activities that should be carried out within that specific unit. You know, the module is having almost 8 units, and we had to do the same exercise for each unit. And this was done. We did our best to ensure that learning outcomes are clearly specified. We ensured that activities are well defined and resources are provided for each activity. So there is a match between learning outcomes, activities which are related to these learning outcomes, as well as activities that students should be carrying out to ensure that students are progressively achieving the learning outcomes of the unit, but at the same time achieving learning outcome of the module as well. Yes.
In his statement, Dr. SHEMA talked about the storyboard, which may not be familiar to some people. We asked him to explain it in a brief.
A storyboard, actually, it is a plan. It is a plan for each module that should specify, which are the units, during which time each unit should be delivered. As I said, it's a matter of planning. You know, a lecturer should plan to deliver his module. Should know exactly when a specific unit should be delivered, in which period of time, in which week, for example, let's say a week, or maybe during what number of hours this unit should be delivered. And this results in the fact that even a lecturer should be supervising himself, monitoring himself as far as the delivery of the module is concerned. Students as well should understand, in which time they have to cover a specific module in terms of contents, in terms of assessment, in terms of everything. So storyboard is just a planning to deliver a module. What is the plan when the module is being delivered? So activities are well developed across maybe, let's say, a semester, or just a week, and so on and so on and so on and so on. So it's very simple, a planning of a lesson or a module.
When asked about identified gaps or weaknesses the review work wanted to address, Dr. SHEMA responded as follows.
One of the gaps we realized, in terms of assessment, learning outcomes are very key. If learning outcomes are not defined in a smart way, I mean, smart means specific, measurable, attainable, and timeliness. You know, we need really to ensure that learning outcomes are very specific so that the assessment is specific as well. So this helps a lot to ensure we assess our students in a manner that is very effective and very neutral, very correct. Okay, so we tried our best to ensure that learning outcomes are very specific to a certain extent. That's number one. Number two, we know that this PBL gives us some recommendations as far as learning outcomes are concerned. At the module level, normally we say we should be having 4 learning outcomes at the module level. At the unit level, the recommendation is that we should have at least 3 learning outcomes. So we had to ensure we comply with these guidances by the PBL, actually the PBL, which is a template from the Association of Commonwealth Universities. So these may be the most important 2 items that we addressed. I know there are so many others, but these are the most important.
We also had an interview with Mr. Ntabomvura, the workshop facilitator and usually an e-learning officer in charge of trainings in instructional design in the Center for Open Distance and E-Learning CODeL. He highlighted a number of points which helped understand more the objectives of the so-concluded workshop and its achievements.
We had a cross-cutting module that is information communication technology, which is being taught to all first-year students at the whole university, which has been prepared before and it has been uploaded. For this session, the purpose was to review it and validate it. So the lecturers who are facilitating this module in all campuses have been called, and per now we made a common review. We restructured the content. Not only that, even the activities to engage the learners in this module, and it has been well done.
Are there any gaps or weaknesses that have led to the review of this module?
Obviously, at the stage where the module was, the activities were not properly linked with the learning resources, and during this session, we have called the expert in pedagogy, who are the director for teaching and the learning enhancement directorate, to gather about the quality rubrics matters to see the quality of those content, and it has been done.
As the module is, what are the new elements incorporated in it?
You see, for constructive alignments in online modules, it is a key point. And for this time, we have incorporated the link between the intended learning outcomes, the resources, and the activities to assess the level of achievement for the competencies in this module.
To lecturers who deliver this module, who have not taken a part to this workshop, may expect from this new module?
The way we have designed this module, as long as you have basic knowledge in delivering this mod, it is quite easy to understand this, and we have even prepared facilitator guide to orient all those lecturers who might have missed this training, but they are able to follow this facilitator guide to acquire what is required to be used for delivering this module. For this session, we have covered what we call cohort management, which means one module can be facilitated by different lecturers at different time based on the availability or the program that they are following. For this session, you have introduced the way we manage the cohort so that whoever might be teaching this module, he can cover his content without affecting another cohort. We have done this, which is one of the benefits for blended learning, where one module can be covered by different cohorts at different time.
Today is probably the last day of this workshop. What are the main achievements that you have attained so far?
You see, the group for this session was made by people who have basic skills in ICT, who are the lecturers who are facilitating this module across the University of Rwanda, which accelerated us to achieve the given goals. So for this, it was really very interesting to work with people who are skilled in the computer, and they have embarked with new terminologies and the way of delivering this by inserting varieties of resources.
Mm-hmm. Last but not least, to what extent do you rate the achievements of this workshop vis-a-vis the assigned tasks?
Comparatively to the given task, to review, first of all, we have covered this reviewing starting from the first point up to the last, and the validation also based on the participants who had expertise in content validation, while data for teaching and learning enhancement. It has been validated as a core module to be covered by the whole university. We hope that from the output and the results of what you have done, the university is able to undergo the best level for distributing or disseminating the same module to all newcomer to the University of Rwanda students.
But when you talk about validation, does it mean that henceforth the new model will be delivered, or there is another step of validation that awaits?
By default today, what has been done is a validation on the level of the team who is delivering this module and the Directorate for Teaching and Learning Enhancement. So the next step is to bring what you have gathered in this session to the next level, which is the Senate for the University of Rwanda, to validate for the final this module.